Hi, Tracy here from Shape Up with Tracy. I often get asked which is the best diet, and we see it all over the magazines, all over the newspapers, all over the media about there's this amazing new diet and it's going to fix everybody and we're not going to have anybody now that's overweight. Well, in reality, if all these diets worked, the problem would have already been solved. So actually, by the fact that the diets don't seem to work long term, then we move to another one. It's keeping the industry in money. We are keeping the industry in money by moving from one diet to the next diet. So which is the best diet? Most of the diet plans that you will find out available commercially through books, through buying different foods, different places, they work as long as you stick to them absolutely and you do not deviate. And that's the problem. Most people do not stick to the plan 100%. They might only stick to it 90% or even worse, 80 or 70%. And then the diet doesn't work and they blame themselves. And then they feel worse, so then they go and try another diet and they feel even worse about themselves. So it's really, really hard one. There are some really good diets out there. But again, the long-term research says that the weight you lose in 5 years' time, you're probably going to put more back on. So what's the solution? That sounds pretty dismal, doesn't it? That nothing's really going to work. What seems to work from the research that I've read and the research I've done is that it's to do with changing your own thoughts about food and your activity levels. So yes, you need to make sure that the calories you consume match your activity levels. Now, most of us don't move enough during a day. Our lifestyle over the last 50, 100 years has significantly changed and we don't move as much as we used to. So what can you do to make sure you're moving more every day? How can you be accountable for that? For me, I've got a little Fitbit that I wear now on my wrist, and I started out challenging myself to get the 10,000 steps. And when I could do that consistently, that I've changed my habits, I've upped it now to 11,000 steps. And I can do that quite consistently now. And I'm about ready to set myself a new challenge. Can I get to 12,000 steps every day to make sure I'm moving? It doesn't really matter what you're doing to move, but it needs to be something you like to do. So that's really, really important, because by moving and being fitter, we will be healthier. The other side of it, apart from the getting moving, is also to watch for health and nutrition. Rather than thinking weight loss, think health and nutrition. Think about eating healthily, reducing sugar. We all know what we need to do. And if you do those little things, make little changes. A few years ago, I cut out cordial altogether because I don't drink tea and coffee. So I cut out cordial altogether and went to water, or aloe and water, which is probably one of my favourites these days, or lemon squeezed in water or lime squeezed in water. 2 kilos just slid off, and that was purely just the sugars, I'm sure, in all the cordial I was drinking. So there are little things you can do and watch for those changes. So just make small changes to working towards health and good nutrition. For me, every morning I have a Herbalife shake because that gives me all the nutrition my body needs every day. And I was talking to somebody in my office at work a couple of weeks ago who was going to go on this amazing diet. She's going to lose stacks of weight. But when I looked at the nutritional value of what she was going to eat, you had to eat for lunch. It was a cup of cucumber chopped up into pieces. 2 cups of lettuce. There's a lot of water in that, but actually how much nutrition is there going to be? How much protein is in there? How much carbohydrate? How much of the good fats are actually in what she's having? So the key thing is that nutrition. So when you're thinking about weight loss, and it may be that you really do need to lose some weight, focus on nutrition, focus on being healthy, making healthy choices. If you're going to go to Max Brenner's my favourite, then do that in moderation. Don't go every day, don't go every week. It's a treat. It's not something that you do regularly. It's something as a one-off in moderation. And that's really key, the moderation. And then the final one is get moving. 80% needs to be thinking about your nutrition and eating healthily. And the other 20% of your effort needs to go into moving more. and move and do something you enjoy. So there are lots and lots of diets out there, but the key thing that will make a difference for you is nutrition, healthy eating, and making sure you're moving. If you're having significant difficulties with this, from my experience, many people have some sort of history mentally that is actually stopping them from being able to lose the weight. And then as they go through the cycle of lose a little bit, put a bit more on, lose a little bit, put a bit more on, try a different diet, that didn't work, try a different diet, that didn't work, they get really, really negative. And my advice to those people is go and actually see a counsellor. Go and talk to somebody who can actually help you turn your mindset around. And it's the mindset that makes all the difference at the end of the day. So good luck. Think healthy, nutrition, get moving, and if you need to, get some help.